All right, and welcome back, everybody, to that crypto report. It comes to you every single weekday, Monday through Friday, right about 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, as often as I can, really. Man, I felt so bad. I had a bad live stream last Friday. Did a mobile stream. Thought we'd have some fun with it, but man, I don't know. My Wi-Fi was bad. My cellular data was bad. Whatever. We're here. We're back in the studio. Had a great stream yesterday. Got another great stream for you today. Even though we're seeing altcoins hiccup a little bit, I'm feeling pretty good right now. I am eyeing a little bit of potential short positions on Doge, and some of these other coins, altcoins, potentially for a very short. Because I stay bullish and I remain bullish for the midterm and long term for crypto. But now we've kind of got some fear creeping back into that crypto market today. And I want to talk about why, what are the things that are happening? And if you can guess what the catalysts that are bearish I'm going to talk to you about today, frankly, I wouldn't be that surprised. I think it's pretty obvious to everybody out there that's been paying attention, especially to these live streams that we bring you every weekday. And if you haven't turned on your notification bell already and subscribe to the channel for the crypto content, we have it come in many videos every day. So check it out if you haven't done so. We've been doing a lot of trading, and if you want to trade with us, join the almost 100 folks trading with us on Blowfin. That's kind of where we like to do our trading. And let's share the screen and get into some of the stories for the day. This is Blowfin. This is where we do our trading. If you want to join us trading here, I got links in the description, in the comments for you guys down below if you do want to sign up. Look at these crypto markets today. All of a sudden, what do we got? All of a sudden, we got Aave pumping today for some reason, which is interesting because Ethereum, which is what Aave is on, is not ripping. Why is Aave such a big mover today? What is going on with this? Is there any news coming out with coin today? The supply shrinks and whale activity surging. So the whales are kicking in. Very, very interesting. Golden cross pattern coming up. That's pretty cool. So on any given day, a crypto can pump, guys. If you don't know what Aave is, it's a borrowing and lending protocol on Ethereum. Ethereum has been hot lately, but now it is cooling off. And Bitcoin is playing a very volatile game right now, which is awesome for some of these short-term scalp trades that I've been doing. I've been having some fun with it. Papa, a legend in the chat, there for the good streams and the bad streams. How you doing, brother? Shout out to BSS Ultra Justin saying smash the like. Yes, smash the like indeed. Shout out to Scott and Crypto Keeper and John, GME, Shiba, and the one in the chat. How you guys doing today? Welcome. So today, a couple coins are up. Looks like Aave, and I got Ethna coming up today. Jupiter, Trump coin's up a little bit today. I wonder why. Generally, though, we've got more coins that were kind of down this morning. A little bit of a comeback right now. Why? Because Bitcoin, after having some volatility this morning, is starting to come back up. So I did have this kind of blue trend line that I was looking at. We had this crazy wick. Look at this wick on this 4-hourly candle earlier, and we might be step laddering back up, guys. There was a little bit of a hiccup today for price action, and overnight we started to slip back down. We look at this crazy volatility. It's just been really crazy on these 4-hourly candles. This volatility is insane right now. Super fun for trading, but it is risky. Crypto and trading is risky, which is why one of the best strategies out there is just DCA and holding, and then trading, alongside your holding portfolio is a great way to make a little extra profit to then have more money to DCA in if you're a good trader and if you're a savvy trader. And best way to get started, in my opinion, is using low leverage and not financial advice, guys, but that's what we've been doing. We've been making some progress on our portfolios, just chipping away at some small wins, sometimes a big win or two, but you just got to make sure you're winning more of those trades than you're losing. So Bitcoin dominance, like I've been telling you guys, could be coming up to this higher level. Still kind of sticking to that as we're seeing Bitcoin get a little bit of recovery from this little dip it had this morning. Maybe we are going to be reattempting some of these highs at 107 that we saw recently, and possibly even going back to these highs we saw back in January, maybe to 110. Can we get there this month? I think a lot of people are feeling pretty optimistic right now, but there are some hurdles. There have been some stories that come out over the last few days that I want to talk about. Let's jump right into this. Whoa, hey, let's share the screen again. I don't know why that always happens. Boom. Why is crypto down today? Here's what you need to know. Benzinga, writing this publication, Yahoo Finance kind of reposting this. First off, look at the S&P 500, look at the Dow, look at the NASDAQ, a little bit down today. Why are stocks coming down today? Well, we had a nice rally, but it got fizzled, and now it's refizzling back to the upside, which is interesting. They talk about, it tends to move in sync with broader markets. We kind of know this at this point. It's still stuck with it. Some people were saying it was finally separating out, but I want to highlight into it with you guys right here. The reason we are having a little bit of a struggle today is tariff concerns, and with that, the Fed remaining cautious, right? One thing I saw in X the other day, and I don't know why I saw it so much, but people were saying, well, the Fed is about to inject money into the market and about to cut the rates. Well, the odds are still telling us the same story. No, probably not. Now, maybe in September, 53% chance we get a rate cut. But there's a 71% chance that in July, we still don't have a rate cut. And still, June is not looking like we're going to get that cut. In the next meeting in 29 days, I will be live streaming this FOMC because these are great. These are great streams. We have a lot of fun listening to the Fed have some sassy remarks back to some of the reporters that asked those silly questions. How's it going, Johnny Sevenfold in the chat? Everybody's saying smash the like. Have you smashed the like yet? Everybody in the chat is talking about smashing the like. And we got 16 likes. We gotta really up those. Crypto Keeper says maybe a surprise rate cut coming. Yeah, I wish. I hope. But we need more progress on tariffs. And unfortunately, the broader market, folks at KPMG, the U.S. chief economist, Diane, bigwig over at KPMG, is looking at potential more disruptions from these tariff policies that are very stop and go, disruptions in the supply chain, fearing more risks of stagflation. Okay, so this is what is keeping us from exploding right now. And until we really get that away, I can't come out and say, we should explode right now, right? We could explode. I'd love to explode to the upside right now. But until we kind of get these two things out of the way, right? Inflation fears, tariff fears, and then the Fed interest rate struggles out of the way, we can't really have that mega altcoin season, in my opinion. Now, can't. Maybe not. I don't expect it more so. Is it possible? Yeah, that's the beauty of crypto. Anything's possible, and it really should be the hedge against inflation, and it should separate from the traditional market, but we're just not at that point yet, okay? We're just not at that point yet, and this is what this data shows with us. So we keep an eye on this data because it's very important for even fart coin, okay? And Pengu, I see somebody talking about Pengu in the chat. Whatever coin you're holding, if it's an altcoin or even Bitcoin, the federal interest rate is important. And so now that we're struggling to get the continued breakout, all of a sudden XRP is printing an ominous death cross. Now, the thing about death crosses, guys, and golden crosses is they don't necessarily mean that a death cross doesn't mean, oh, well, then it's the death of XRP and it's going to crash, right? What it might mean is that it's a significant bottom and we could get a bounce. It could also mean that if we break down below it, could be a problem. And what is the target that people are looking for XRP? Well, it's $2. That's the level I've been talking about. And keeping that dollar touch in the table or in the cards for XRP is something we got to kind of keep in our minds. These things are possible. These are the volatilities of crypto. CZ, the ex-CEO of crypto.com, came out and said it best. Binance founder CZ says investing in crypto is risky. Trading is risky. Investing in crypto is risky. Meme coins are certainly risky. Altcoins are risky. And even Bitcoin is risky at times. Just look at the new lawsuit that we talked about yesterday with the CEO of MicroStrategy, Michael Saylor, and their Bitcoin strategy, a class action lawsuit because maybe he didn't warn enough about the risks to his investors in his stock. But I think that he did. I just can't believe that lawsuit's coming out. But this quote from CZ is interesting. Investing in crypto is risky, but not investing in crypto is also risky. Okay. And we're not just talking about CZ understanding this. In this video, I want to highlight this, and that's why it's on the thumbnail. That's why it's in the title today. Major banks flip bullish. JP Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon approves Bitcoin, question mark? Not quite, but kind of. Not quite, but kind of. JP Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon came out and said that the bank will let clients buy Bitcoin. JP Morgan CEO says the clients of the bank can now buy Bitcoin, but reiterated his long-held skepticism about cryptocurrencies. It is only a matter of time before he fully flips bullish. He hasn't fully flipped bullish on it, but what he has allowed is himself to kind of align with his analysts. The JP Morgan analysts have been predicting higher prices for Bitcoin for a while, saying it could compete with gold and saying that it's separating from the stock market even. I've seen some crazy articles from JP analysts getting quoted. But yet Jamie Dimon, the old man with the gray hair right here, still ain't getting bullish on crypto, but he will officially come out now and made a statement that, hey, you can now buy Bitcoin. Okay, if you're banking with him, you could buy Bitcoin, but he still hates it. Well, JP Morgan will offer Bitcoin access. U.S. banks remain constrained by Federal Reserve rules restricting direct involvement with crypto firms for now. But with the pro-crypto administration, that could absolutely change. Now, here's the conversation. Who will succeed Jamie CEO Dimon? I told you guys recently that he is going to get replaced at some point, probably soon. And I think because he's kind of behind the times, he can't hop on this Bitcoin train and he refuses to do so. And I think at some point he's going to step down. Now, we already saw the head of the World Economic Forum, Klaus Schwab, who says you will own nothing and you will like it. We already saw him step down. Well, who's going to replace Jamie Dimon when he steps down? I bet it's going to be somebody who's a crypto bull. Even though the bank is now going to offer the ability for their clients to buy Bitcoin. At the 2024 World Economic Forum in Davos, he famously said, Bitcoin does nothing. I call it the pet rock. This is what he said for years. I tweeted the stream out. I said, who's the pet rock now? It's you, Jamie. It's you. He also added back in 2024 that that's the last time he'll be talking with CNBC about Bitcoin. Not true. And I told you guys that. As soon as he came out with that quote, I laughed, listened to the clip of him saying that because no, he will be talking about Bitcoin again for sure. And he's talked about it several times with CNBC and many other media outlets and publicly several times already. And that is not a surprise. You cannot ignore crypto. You just can't ignore it. Okay, guys, it's too big to ignore at this point. There's no doubt about it. But back to the point of the founder CZ, even though it is risky to not invest in crypto, it is risky to invest in crypto. Let's look at this story that's continuing on today about this Coinbase data leak. Coinbase data leak could put users in physical danger. It's a little scary. The leaked home addresses of Coinbase users raised significant concerns amid increasing crypto-related crimes in 2025. We've seen a lot of people get kidnapped in France. We've seen some kidnappings in Vegas. We've seen the recent artist that got compromised, a 65-year-old retired artist, lost $2 million because of this data leak, and then he got contacted and scammed. Well, what they're saying now is potentially home addresses have actually been leaked, and this is a little bit concerning, right? Somebody even said this hack, which includes home addresses and account balances, will lead to people dying, and it probably has already. Now, I haven't seen that in the headlines. That's a very bold claim. The founder of TechCrunch and Arlington Capital came out and said this very wild thing. very disappointed in Coinbase right now. Using the cheapest option for customer service has its price. So it says that, they really need to get their stuff together here. Okay? Get their stuff together here. The consequences to companies who do not adequately protect their customer information should include, without limitation, prison time for executives. Michael Arrington wants to throw Brian Armstrong in prison now after they just got launched in the S&P 500 and had this big hack. Kind of wild. See you, Papa. Get back to work, brother man. There you go. Simon Kelly. I don't know, brother. You got to DM me about that. I gotta learn more. What is that? Virtual? Hey, how's it going, Jason Davis? But this is a good point. I'll say to this, crypto exchanges need layered cybersecurity. To prevent similar data breaches, crypto exchanges need to adopt the layered defense strategy, says this Web3 security firm co-founder. This can include privileged access management, zero trust architecture, multi-factor authentication across internal systems, and continuous monitoring with behavioral analytics. So this is all things that are important, and these are all things that are still getting figured out, right? But in the meantime, what can you do? You can protect yourself, guys, by diversifying into several exchanges, first of all. Maybe having some cold storage and holding in some DeFi wallets for sure would be a way to protect yourself, in my mind. Protect that private key. And then don't go bragging around when you're making some crypto gains, right? Don't put a target on your back, okay? And protect yourself, okay? But this is very interesting. There have been quite a few attacks on crypto holders, and so these are phishing scams. We actually saw more back in the beginning of 2024. Which is kind of interesting. And I don't know why they're showing 2024. They're not showing 2025. I'd like to see the chart for 2025 here. But that's the big thing, is the social engineering schemes, phishing scams. That's the biggest problem. What can you do to protect yourself from phishing scams? Just don't respond to text messages about crypto, okay? Don't do it. Don't respond to phone calls, text messages, emails about crypto. Did you make this transaction? Call this number, and then they, get your data, and then boom, now you're vulnerable. Okay. So protect yourself, guys. There are risks in this crypto space. This is also a factor that I think is leading to maybe a little bit of fear and a little bit of a hiccup in this price action as of late, but I remain bullish on crypto. This doesn't change anything about it. I think that this has always been a risk that should have been on everybody's radar when you're doing KYC. Now you're talking about a centralized firm, and you're trusting them with your data. Okay. Now, I think the same would be true if a bank were hacked, that there's data that gets compromised there. But again, we continuously see the story about data leaks from crypto firms, not from centralized firms. Those stories go to the wayside for some reason, which I don't think is fair. But we are moving into the future, and I think that there is going to be some improvements for security now that we've seen Coinbase have this issue. Founders, CEOs are going to be paying more and more attention to continue to find ways to protect their users as cryptocurrency continues to advance within the government. Even though we did have some of these problems, we had some folks in the Senate that were opposing this Genius Act, this regulatory framework for stablecoins in the U.S. 2 weeks ago, it was blocked by some folks in the Senate, but now it seems like there has been an agreement. There was a new vote, and finalized. The vote goes 66-32 in favor of this stablecoin legislation. Now it moves over to Congress for a final vote to either fully get approved or not. Okay. So now we got to wait to see what Congress has to say about it. But we do know that some folks out there are still not happy with crypto. One of the most famous anti-crypto people out there certainly is Senator Elizabeth Warren. Basic flaws remain unaddressed. Congress should not choose to enable the president's egregious corruption, right? So again, crypto is political now, guys, and that's a bummer. But it's what it is. We knew this was coming, guys. The good news is this bill has still passed. The winners, if Congress passes this bill, are Americans who want to make payments faster and easier to access. And I definitely agree with that. Transformational technology. So it's transformational technology. So passing the bill is a win for them. It's not just a win for the industry or political candidate. It is a win for any American that wants to make payments easier, more simple, and embrace this new technology that's faster and cheaper to use. Okay. So we are headed in the right direction, despite some of these bearish headlines you might read about death crosses. Death crosses, again, are not the end of a rally per se. They have broken to the downside before, but we have also seen significant bounces off death crosses before for Bitcoin, for XRP in the past, and many other cryptocurrencies. Now, if you do ignore crypto to the CEO, ex-CEO of Binance's tweets that he said cryptos are risky, but non-investing in cryptos is risky as well. Well, nobody is more publicly going to get attacked for missing the opportunity more than the government of Germany right now. Missed out on $2.3 billion in profit when they panic sold the Bitcoin they were holding at 57K instead. They could have had a national strategic reserve with that Bitcoin that they seized through some of the things they did, and they decided to dump it. That's a lot to miss, guys. Now, it's crazy because El Salvador, right? They made a bunch of money on Bitcoin and crypto. MicroStrategy, their stock shot up. It was one of the best performing stocks last year, and they made a bunch of money, some of the most money on crypto. And they're getting attacked for it in the media, but at least the crypto publications are paying attention to the people on the other side that missed the pump, right? I still don't understand how the investors behind MicroStrategy are doing this class action lawsuit. That's just wild to me. If you guys aren't aware of that story, I talked about it yesterday. Check out my live stream from yesterday. I dove right into it. But big businesses are still growing the crypto space. Bitmine launches Bitcoin Treasury Advisory Practice, secures a $4 million deal with its first client, which is pretty cool. So we've just got more progress going on. And despite MicroStrategy getting attacked, there are going to be more companies that are going to be doing these Bitcoin treasuries of sorts in the future. And they're looking for consultants to do so, whether it's including mining, whether it's including actually buying and holding the asset, or a variety of ways to get exposure to the industry. I believe we're going to continue to see that. And it's not just the YouTubers saying it or the people on X. Even Standard Chartered Bank came out and said that the SEC's 13F filings support Bitcoin reaching 500,000 by 2028. Now, I don't know what an SEC 13F filing is, and I didn't look into it. But when these banks continue to come out and talk about these $500,000 Bitcoin, $1 million Bitcoin, $250,000 Bitcoin price, even by the year 2028, it's pretty exciting, guys. It also a little nerve-wracking because you kind of don't trust the banks. And when they say something, you think they're doing the other. Maybe they're the ones suppressing these prices right now. Maybe, but they haven't been doing a good job of suppressing them lately because, as you can see, we now do have Bitcoin back above 100K, up to 105 right now. At least it was at the beginning of the stream. Let's see where it's sitting right now. Yeah, 105 right now, looking pretty good. Don't be surprised if we get another bounce down to 102.6 or something like that. Bitcoin dominance shooting up. That makes all the sense in the world to me because we can't really have the altcoin season, I don't think, until the Fed pivots. By 2028, the Fed will have surely pivoted, and we'll certainly have some of these tariff concerns behind us. These fears of supply chain disruptions should be behind us. Probably in the next year, I'd say, but it's something we're going to continue to keep an eye on. And again, if you guys want to trade some of this volatility, you can do so. You can sign up for Blowfin using the link. I've got it in the description for you guys down below if you want to check it out. Now, I'm going to pop a squat here and let's do a little bit of a Q&A and we can look at some charts together. I wanted to get through some of those stories with you guys and share what I'm seeing, some of the reasons why we're having a little bit of a stall out right now. Well, we were this morning, but Bitcoin is just playing this game of chop, and it's so good for trading. I've been loving trading just Bitcoin, really. Dabbling with some of the big memes like Doge and Pepe. In my Dogecoin video I got recorded for you guys, it's coming out at 2 p.m. I believe, Central Standard Time. I was talking about looking at a potential short actually for Dogecoin, and the reason why is because of this uncertainty that we're seeing, with this uncertainty with the Fed policy, with inflation concerns, and just really looking at kind of like this level right here. And I think we could easily touch down there. My high level to look at if we break through is 34 cents. That's our next level of resistance. And then 48 cents from there, where we had these weekly candle closes back in November. So it's something to keep an eye on, my friends. Something to keep an eye on together. How's it going, Armin Clark? How's it going, Simon Kelly? What else is going on? Raven in the chat says Bitcoin at its peak, and it's going to Bitcoin at its peak. What's up? Bitcoin at its peak, and it's going to be so far. Well, no 150K, no 250K. I don't understand what you're saying, Raven. Unfortunately, maybe rephrase that sentence for me. Crypto Keeper's joking around saying, you mean I shouldn't give that guy in South Africa my banking info for wealthy long-lost relative who has passed away and left me a lot of money? Exactly. There's so many scam emails like that. It's unbelievable. Scott says Elizabeth Warren should retire. There's a lot of senators that should retire. We got a lot of old people in government, and just look what the old people do. Warren Buffett didn't like crypto. He stepped down. We had the head of the World Economic Forum, Charles Schwab. He didn't like crypto. He stepped down. Jamie Dimon, they're talking about his successor today. I bet you he steps down, maybe even in the year 2025. It's possible. It's possible. There seems to be a big shift across the globe towards this new age technology. And it's something that, I don't know, we've been talking about for the last 4 years on this channel, which has been incredible. Probably over, what are we, over 6,000 videos now? It's been insane. We've done so many videos about crypto. And man, we've made so many great predictions, folks. It's just been unbelievable. So Raven's saying you're not going to make profits on Bitcoin anymore. I couldn't agree less. I don't agree with that. I mean, I think that Bitcoin's going to $1 million one day. Maybe not in this cycle, but man, if you had one Bitcoin and you could become a millionaire off 100 grand, that's pretty incredible in 10 years time. And I think that's possible in 10 years time with Bitcoin, and maybe even sooner. Some people, executives and analysts alike, do think that something like that's possible. Increasingly so every single day, it seems. Pepe might be stalling out here. I think we could look out maybe for the next test at 4016. I guess I could draw in this little trend line. These are the weekly candles. Boom. Something like that, maybe. Maybe a little resistance up here as well. Boom. To the downside, I'm looking at maybe off these candles right here. Look for a little bullish retest. I think that Dogecoin is actually easier to trade than Pepe personally. That's just kind of my take. What else are you guys looking at today? I hear my little girlsy squawking outside my door. I got an 8-month-old daughter now. It's unbelievable, guys. Lost my hair, had a baby. All on this channel. You guys have seen. You guys have seen it all over here. Raven says, I am holding that Trump coin, that dinner date coming soon. Are you have the Trump coin? Did you get invited? Are you a top 200 holder of the Trump coin? Is that true, Raven? Are you gonna meet with the president? Tell him we want him on the channel to interview him and grill him on crypto. That'd be great. We'd have fun. We'd have fun with that. Since you're gonna be best buddies with him all of a sudden. No, man, put in like $500. Hey, well, maybe you need 2 more zeros to get a seat at the table. Maybe 3 more zeros to get a seat at the table, actually. That's okay. That's okay. I really do like the looks of that TAI. Yeah, I do too, Scott. I think that one's looking nice. I like the story behind it. But you need Solana to rip, and Solana is risking a maybe test down to 127. Again, as we're waiting for the ped to pivot, waiting for the Fed to pivot, we could be seeing a little bit of a slip for some of the altcoins, potentially. The Sean Strickland look, kinda. That guy, man, that guy is tough. I saw him beat up some YouTube influencer or something. Did some kind of sparring with this guy, just annihilated this kid. Man, that guy is tough. Pivot equals fake pivot. Yeah, and that's kind of what we got going on. We thought we were going to get some rate cuts by this time, and we just aren't getting it. And the tariffs are to blame, unfortunately. The tariffs are to blame, unfortunately. What else is going on? What else is going on, guys? What's on your mind? I'll tell you what's on my mind. Bitcoin going back up to maybe 107 tonight and then coming back down to 103. Quick shorts and longs on this thing. You can make some good money right now. FamOG says, does the typical chart analysis work for the BTC dominance chart? Like a bull, div, bear, divs, oversold, overbought? Yeah. I mean, yeah, charting is charting, man. It totally does work like that. Maybe less so than some of the other things, but yeah, I mean, it does work. You can find levels of support and resistance. It's trickier, I think, but yeah. Chris Elenas says the tariffs gave us a great buying opportunity. That they did. And I love that you're mentioning that because, you know, with these tariffs, guys, not that long ago, you were down here. That is a 41% gain on Bitcoin in 43 days. What an incredible, that is a percent a day you could have made. That's insane. Scott says, I just got a flash on my phone. Somebody said Cynthia Loomis said something about a lawsuit against MicroStrategy. Is that true? Yeah, there's a lawsuit against MicroStrategy. It's crazy. It's class action lawsuit because Michael Saylor didn't warn shareholders enough about the volatility of Bitcoin. He was just talking about it being huge and big and great and going to millions and billions of dollars, but didn't warn enough about the risks. Though, again, his stock was killing it last year, so I just don't get that lawsuit. I do to a point, but I just think it's so silly. I think it's so silly. I just think it's crazy. Some of the other big headlines for the day. Let's take a peek at it. Elon defends Tesla struggles. Don't worry about it. Getting criticism. Politics is playing into everything right now. S&P set to snap its win streak as doubts creep in. These are the kind of headlines you're getting today. The president's tax cut bill likely to backfire. A lot of skepticism. President's assault on the global dollar. This is what we've got going on right now. So markets are political. Crypto's political. It's almost as if the opposition to the president is rooting for the market to fail, which is a bummer. I mean, you should be rooting for the market to succeed no matter what. I think you should be rooting for every president to do good, even if you don't like them. And that's just the bummer about where this crypto industry is at. You know, I wish we were back to the days where I was talking about somebody buying $1 million banana or a piece of NFT art, but now we got to talk about, you know, this drama in the Senate and the Congress, and I don't like it. I don't like talking about this drama. That's not what this channel's supposed to be, but gosh, just look up crypto and you see all political stuff. It's crazy. How's it going, Juan? What's going on, brother, man? So yeah, S&P's trickling down just a little bit today. Kind of a bummer. And it all comes back to this, guys. Now, by September, we could get a rate cut. It's like a 70% chance that we do. October, you're only at a 12% chance that we're not going to have a rate cut by then. And then come December, there's only a 3.8% chance that we're not going to get a rate cut by December. Right there, you can see it there. So I expect we're going to have some kind of rate cut before the end of the year. This is basically putting in the odds that, yeah, the tariff thing is going to get solved at some point. The president would certainly want some resolution on that. He wouldn't want that lingering over his entire presidency, I would imagine. So you got to figure it out. He's got to figure it out. JP Morgan will not let clients buy Bitcoin. Yeah, we talked about that story already, Chris. That's the title of the video. That's the thumbnail, and that's the truth. He still doesn't like Bitcoin, but he's going to allow his clients to buy it. So that's pretty neat. Now, you guys want to trade this volatility again? You can sign up for Blowfin. We are doing a lot of trading over there, up to a $5,000 deposit bonus when you sign up. And we do have some trade signals that are getting thrown in our private Discord for the members on our channel. If you want to become a member, you can do so down below. And we're thinking of some more ideas for our members to bring more value, kind of putting our, getting some ideas out there together, me and Black Sea, as of late. Raven says, what's this about Elon Musk changing his name to Kekes? That's very old news. Yeah, he did that a while ago, but it did tell you that Elon does support Pepe, which is another fun one to trade. And I believe Pepe is going to absolutely explode in this bull market. I think it's going to flip sheep personally, and I think that it could tend an outperforming Doge. I don't know if it's going to flip Doge, but I think it could outperform it. Just because it's new and hot, right? People like the new stuff. But that old stuff, Bitcoin, too big to ignore. Even Jamie Dimon, who didn't want to talk about it. He came out publicly and he says he doesn't want to talk about Bitcoin anymore. He had to, because it is growing. It is still very popular. It continues to get popular. Yeah, isn't that something, Scott? Chris, you're on the same page as me. You think Pepe will flip sheep. Who else out there thinks Pepe will flip sheep? Who disagrees with that? I'm curious. I know we have one person in the chat who's been disagreeing with that quite a bit. Yeah, as a meme, Pepe the Frog has been around for a very long time, and that's exactly right. I have not really tried BitTuneX. I really like Blowfin a lot. They got a nice sign-up bonus, and a lot of these exchanges are the same. You just got to find one that you trust, and as of now, I very much so personally trust Blowfin. That's where I do my trading. So they've given us some cool sign-up bonuses for our community, which has been fun, and I know some people have been taking advantage of that. I got links to sign up down below. Juan agrees it'll flip sheep. Yeah. Jimmy the Lips on Team Pepe and Team Kipper. I'm on Team Jimmy the Lipper. Yes, sir. Did you tap that like button yet, folks? By the way, a couple more folks did. What do you like about BitTuneX? I mean, they really all kind of do the same thing, to be honest with you. So, I just like the user interface on Blowfin a lot. It's on mobile. It's on the computer. You can use it if you're in the US without any problem. How's it going, Sushi? Oh, long time no see, Sushi, man. Miss you, brother. How you been? Man, I gotta get some sushi. It's been a long time. What's my bull case prediction for Dogecoin in 2025? $2. Wasn't that a nice time, Chris? Wasn't that a nice time? Buying Pepe when it came out? Man, it's a 100x play, guys. I mean, it was, and I don't think that it's a 100x play right now, but I think it's at 30x maybe. Yeah. Yeah, man, I did well with Pepe. We made some money on Pepe. I did well with Pepe. We had a couple big winners from Pepe to Dog with Hat to Bonk to Crow with Knife. Mary didn't turn out that good in the end. But yeah, we had some pretty good pumps on this channel that we took advantage of. Welsh, man, I made good money on Welsh too. And then that just about died. I think it could still come back. I believe in the stack stream still, but we're kind of waiting on it. I think Pepe could 10x before the end of 2025 still. I think it could do something even crazier, to be honest with you. Because it could 30x by the end of 2025. It's less likely, right? I mean, the higher X you're looking for, the less likely it is. But yeah. And then we could start talking about a super cycle, which I just don't want to talk about, really. So I can't really get behind that yet. Chris caught that 20x play on Caw too. Yeah, we've caught a couple big plays. 20x's, 100x's, 50x. We've caught them, guys. It's been fun. If you guys want to subscribe to the channel, we do content every day. We hunt for these things. Right now, we're not seeing a lot of that, but there will be more times for that in the future. I believe it. I do believe it. Again, if you haven't already signed up, you want to trade, a lot of people holding Pepe. You want to trade Pepe? You can sign up for Blowfin using our link. Maybe try it out. Who was that? JREMR. Looking between BitTuneX and Blowfin. I'd say try both and use the one you like more. I don't have a sign up link for you for BitTuneX, but I do have one for Blowfin. At least you get some sign up bonuses when you sign up. Scott says, my prediction that the super cycle will last the whole presidency for 4 years. That's what I think a lot of people are predicting, and I'd love to see that. I remain skeptical on it because all I know is the 4-year cycles, and that's really all I got at this point. But Chihuahua loving his Pepe holdings. Beautiful. All right, guys, that's all I have in this one. I'm Crypto Kip. This is a Crypto Report. Smash the like, subscribe to the channel, DCA. Hold on, my friends. And, of course, I will see you in the next one. More content coming to you every single day. Subscribe, notification bell, turn it on. Deuces, mooses. Yeah, we'll keep the content coming. We got a little, I got a little squid popping through the door there. Okay, I'm going to go say hi to my daughter. Love you guys. Peace.